Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and I got EC here, and today we're gonna be making albondigas. So this is a soup, a meatball soup, and pretty much just consists of vegetables, and yeah, it's good because now it's summertime right now, but it is gonna be cooling off. We've been getting the monsoon a lot, so now that it like rained for a couple days, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make albondigas. I've been craving them, so I'm gonna show you guys how to make albondigas today, and I have the ingredients right here. So we're just gonna start off with the meat. You can use ground beef, you can use ground turkey, whatever you use. It just needs to be, I usually use 2 pounds, but usually it's just 3 of us, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 1.5 pounds. So this is 1.5 pounds of ground beef. You need about half of an onion. We need an egg, depending on how much albondigas you're making. If you're gonna be making more, you might wanna add more egg, like another egg, if you're gonna be doing like more than 2 pounds. You're gonna need about a whole tomato, 3 potatoes. I got about 5 garlic cloves peeled right here, so you're gonna need garlic. I use about half a cup of rice. The rice depends on you. This is something that is added to the meat and will eventually fall off of the meat as it boils. So that's something that will absorb your juice. So you gotta keep that in mind. Not to add too much rice unless you don't really like your soups with a lot of juice. And then we're gonna use celery, just depending, like I said, on how much. This is something that is gonna be in the actual soup, not in the meat. So I'll show you guys in a bit, a little bit more. You got the rice right here. And then carrots, pretty much you can add whatever you want into the soup. I'm adding potatoes, carrots, and celery as in the soup, and then the tomato and the onion goes in the meat, as well as the garlic. So yeah, we like a lot of potatoes in ours, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do 3 potatoes. So for the seasonings, we're gonna go ahead and do a chicken bouillon. This is gonna be in the base of the soup. We're gonna go ahead and do cumin, garlic powder, seasoning salt. I'm kind of running low on this, so that kind of sucks, but we're gonna work with what we got. And then black pepper. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna need a big pot as well, like this big, again, just depending on how much you're making. And I also have some corn that I made already there. I didn't want to put it in the soup, so I have it on the side. So if you want corn, that's optional. I usually never do corn. I just happen to have corn, so I went ahead and made it. So we're gonna go ahead and start with turning on our pan and getting that hot. And I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. So we can get this out of the way. Okay guys, so what we're gonna go ahead and start with is cutting about a quarter of an onion, as well as 2 garlics. I'm gonna cut about this much onion, a little less than half, not, you know. This is gonna be used to saute for the soup. We're gonna get that started. I also did forget that we're gonna need a can of tomato sauce as well, so let me grab that. We're gonna need tomato sauce as well. I'm gonna put that right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start chopping this up. And eventually we're gonna use more onion as well. So if you wanna cut the whole thing at once, I mean, you definitely can. Because we're gonna also add some onion to the meat. So this is just for the soup, which we're gonna get the soup started first. And then while the soup boils, we're gonna start making our meatballs. So we're gonna cut this up. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna start chopping the garlic as well. This is what's gonna be sauteed into the soup right now to get that started. And you're just gonna chop it up finely. Here we've chopped this up like this. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in. I put some oil in the pan to heat up. So let's get this sauteed. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that in just like that. Get that all in there. We're gonna fry that up, let that cook, and saute a little bit. Stir it. Just like that. Let it get translucent. Yep, got that in. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is open up the can of tomato sauce. And we're just gonna throw the whole thing in. Now that that's getting translucent there, it's cooking the garlic and the... Okay guys, so now that the garlic and your onion is looking translucent like this, you're gonna want to go ahead and just throw in your can of tomato sauce. Just throw the whole thing in there, and we'll let that cook. And then we're just gonna fill this up, fill the pan up with about halfway filled with water. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and throw in the water. Just fill that up halfway with as much water. Perhaps it's looking really good. Now we're gonna go ahead and make the albondigas. Or the meatballs. So I'm gonna throw the meat in here. Remember, it's about 1.5 pounds. Throw this. I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. Also, before that, I know we just added the tomato sauce. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is add in some chicken bouillon. So probably about 2. That was not a full one. So we're gonna do like 3 scoops. And that's really like your flavor. So don't be shy with the chicken bouillon. That's what's gonna give it flavor, as well as cumin. So we're gonna go ahead and add in some cumin. Cumin. And I just eyeball it, guys, like really. Since we're gonna add cumin to the meat as well, I mean, I wouldn't do too much of cumin because cumin is pretty strong. And then I'm just gonna add pepper. And we're gonna let this come to a boil while we make the meat here. So pepper, even garlic. Even though we have garlic in there, it doesn't hurt. Like I said, guys, I love to season my stuff as much as I can. I know, hear me out. It's gonna be good, I promise. All right, so now let's go ahead and start getting the stuff ready for the meat. We're not gonna use this yet, or the carrots. That's gonna come after the meatballs. So we're gonna do this in steps, okay? So for the meat, we're gonna need a whole tomato and about half of this. Yeah, about half of this. So about this much for the meatballs. So we're gonna go ahead and peel this. I already rinsed this off, so just cut this off and cut it in little squares. We're gonna add this to the meat.
Mama,
What, baby?
they try cats.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna add it to the meat as we cut it up. the whole tomato too, because why not? I'll just cut it up in little squares.
That's your white beans. Of course.
Alright, so we're gonna add this to the meat. And I might need something bigger to stir it. Oh well. Alright. Tomato. Now we're gonna put the egg in there. Just put the whole egg. And then I'm gonna chop up some garlic and add it in here. Also gonna rinse the rice before I put it in there. Okay, so I rinsed the rice and I'm gonna throw it in here. Rinse the rice because it's dirty. And then we're gonna season the meat now.
Very dirty.
This is probably not a good big bowl to do it. I'm probably might have to switch it, so we'll see.
Yeah,
So
my grandmother got a bigger bowl.
season it in. Garlic. Yeah, let me switch it to a bigger bowl. Alright, so I moved it to a bigger bowl so I could season it. So I'm gonna put garlic powder. And then cumin, just a little bit. Because like I said, cumin is strong, so you don't want to put too much of it. And then I don't really have a lot of seasoning sauce, so I'm going to put a little bit of chicken bouillon in it. This is optional, you don't have to do it. This is just for some flavor. And then I'm going to put pepper. I don't think I put pepper. Okay, so now I have everything in there. You're just gonna mix it. I mix it with my hands, so my hands are clean. I just wash them a million times. Just mix it all up, the rice, everything. And then we're gonna start making them. And then now we're gonna make the balls. So I like to make them about this size. So just grab some, and start rolling it, and make them like this.
Like round and round and round it go, round and round and round it go, round and round and round it go, round and round and round it go. Like drop it down low and pick it up slow. Cola, drop it down low, pick it up slow. Blunt so.
Okay, so we got the meatballs all rolled now. We're gonna throw it in the water is boiling. I turned it down a little bit. So, oh, sorry guys, it got foggy. But yeah, let me go ahead and start just putting them in one by one. Be careful of this part. The water can splash and burn you. So, wait, see? You guys got a little splash. Okay, so now what we're gonna go ahead and do is I peeled the potatoes, I washed the celery, the carrots. So we're just gonna chop everything up. The meatballs are still boiling over there. So I'm gonna do the potatoes because these take longer to cook. And I mean, you can cut them however. I just like to cut them like in little squares like this. So something similar, whatever you guys want. But we're gonna get these in, and then okay. So next we're gonna go ahead and probably do the carrots. I don't know if I'm gonna cut them or not. Yeah, I think we probably will cut them. Just a little bit. Maybe, I think, yeah, like that. So they're like more enjoyable, you know? We'll just cut them like little circles. So that way they're more easier to eat, and they'll probably cook faster as well. You can definitely leave them whole if you want. That's okay as well. And then right now we're probably gonna skim the fat off of the meat because it all sits at the top. Then I do like a couple more carrots. Cut off the ends. And then I'm just gonna probably cut these, cut it in half. It's pretty big, so maybe we should do squares as well. So forget that plan. We'll do it like this and then put this. Okay. So we're gonna throw some. Good job.
I made sausage. No.
Alright guys, so everything's boiling, and as you guys can see there's some fat there. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just get a spoon like this, and all you gotta do is just skim it. Just skim it, and it comes right off. If there is some fat, it's best to just take it off right now while it's cooking. It's easier. And this one didn't have too much, so I don't have to take off a lot, but we'll take off whatever we can, as much as we can. Alright, so it looks really good now. You guys see everything's boiling. Everything's chopped up nice and small. I usually leave everything's big, but I think it's better for Kalila, just my daughter. So there's all the potatoes. Everything looks so good. Look at these meatballs, guys. Like, come on now. Like, let's get a potato, like, whole thing of it. Like, what? Are you kidding me? This looks so good. So we're just gonna let it boil, let all the veggies get nice and soft, potatoes, everything. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make some rice in my Instapot. So you can make Mexican rice, white rice, whatever type of rice you want. I'm just gonna make a cup of white rice, just for us to have like on the side. So I'm gonna put that to start right now. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna show you guys a full bowl once it's all served, so stay tuned. Okay guys, I made some white rice in the Instapot. First time, really good, came out, I love it. We still got our soup boiling here. Everything's pretty much done, so all that's left is to just serve ourselves. So look at how great everything looks. Everything is really easy to make. It's not really too hard, and it's really good, I promise you guys. Okay guys, so we're serving now. So you can make it as juicy as you want, and then add your rice, because the rice like absorbs it too.
Keep adding the broth.
Yes. Yes, it looks so good. That's your Albondigas.